In 2008, we sold, donated, and discarded most of our material possessions. It was a decision based on discontent with our current lives. We were tired of living paycheck to paycheck, never able to get ahead, and we were growing weary of all the time, energy, and effort our possessions were draining from us. Not only were our possessions not adding joy to our lives, they were distracting us from the very things that did. Since embarking on this journey, I found the principles of minimalism resonate with most people who are introduced to it. And I've seen the pursuit of minimalism transform the lives of young couples, parents, and older generations. But one of my greatest desires is to also inspire teenagers to become conscious consumers and build a better life by owning less. There are, of course, significant challenges in reaching teens with the message of owning less. Our world is growing increasingly materialistic. Teenagers tend to value acceptance and conformity with their peers. Advertisers intentionally target the young adult demographic. Teens are beginning to explore their own decision-making, and as a result, they're often less likely to value input from others, especially parents. But there are so many benefits to reaching students with this message. Their most significant decisions are still ahead of them, and so the message of simplicity helps equip them. They're not in debt yet. How wonderful to keep them from making that mistake. Their spending habits are not yet formed. They're definitely being shaped, but they're not fully determined. As parents and adults, we understand the importance of sparing our teens from decades of financial burden and empty promises of consumerism. We recognize an important opportunity to inspire teens to pursue their own lives of value and contribution. And so, considering the challenge and the opportunity, here are 10 important things we can do to raise consumer-conscious teens in an age of excess. Number 1, model simplicity. The cliche rings true. Life lessons are better caught than taught. And so the first and most important step in raising minimalist teenagers is to model for them the joys and the benefits of intentionally living with less. Number 2, encourage idealism. Many teenagers embrace idealism and they desire to find a cause that can change the world. But too often, this idealism is misunderstood or is even discouraged when it should be encouraged. Allow children of all ages to dream bigger dreams than big houses, cool cars, and white picket fences. Number 3, volunteer together as a family. Be active, offering your time in the community through a local food bank, a soup kitchen, or a community organization that serves the underprivileged in your area. A fourth step we can take is watch less television. It's not as hard as you think, and it has immediate positive results for you and your child. Number 5, make teens pay for expensive items themselves. Every parent ought to provide food and clothing and shelter and necessities, and every parent wants to give good gifts to their kids. But asking your child to purchase expensive items with their own money will create a stronger sense of ownership and a better understanding of the relationship between work, money, and consumerism. Number 6, encourage kids to recognize the underlying message in advertising. Advertisements are not going away and can never be completely avoided. And so help your child read behind the marketing message by often asking, what are they really trying to sell you with this ad? Do you think this product will deliver on that promise? If luck is in your favor, it can even become a fun little game in your family. Number 7, I encourage you to find a trustworthy voice. By the time your children have reached the teenage years, your role as a parent has changed significantly. In most families, teens are beginning to express independence in their relationship with their parents, but that doesn't mean they won't listen to anyone. So find an accompanying voice in your community that subscribes to your values and provide opportunities for him or her to speak into your child's life. Number 8, discourage entitlement in your family. Oftentimes, as parents, we work hard to ensure a significant advantage for our children by providing for them at all costs. But as we do, we equally run the risk of not preparing them for life by neglecting to teach them the truths of responsibility. It is hard work maintaining the possessions of life. Lawns have to be mowed, cars cleaned and maintained, laundry sorted, rooms tidied. And so expose teenagers to this truth as early and as often as possible. Number 9, I think this is important. Travel to less developed countries if possible. The world is big and the cultures are varied. Some of the most teachable moments of my teenage years occurred by visiting third world countries and experiencing the living conditions of those who live on so little. Their joy and peace without having much has served as an inspiration to me even up to this day. And number 10, teach them that what matters most is not what they own, but who they are. A man or woman of noble character holds a far greater asset than those who have traded it for material possessions. Believe this truth, live this truth, and remind the teenagers in your life of it as often as possible. We have chased happiness, joy, and fulfillment in the pursuit of riches and possessions for far too long. It is time we intentionally raise a generation that values greater things.